Actually, today's newspapers are filled with Dr. Manmohan Singh's funeral today to happen in Delhi. Particularly, Indian Express covered entirely of that. Two major deaths of this month that are really, really important in two fields. I don't think there will be a question on Manmohan Singh. I'm not expecting a question over it. But still, those 30-year-old history of liberalization, privatization, globalization, LPG, that you must have thorough knowledge. What are the structural changes that had been offered? What are the monetary policy reform that had been done? So, what are the macroeconomic changes that he suggested?
இந்த
So,
ஒரு
that
நோக்கறது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து நம்ம
that you should have sound knowledge over them. Now it's 30 years now, so that's one thing. You should have sound knowledge. I'm not saying there will be a question, but another death was of Sham Benagals. Sham Benegal is undoubtedly one of the greatest filmmaker of India. There is a serial of Bharat Ek Khoj is basically search. Discovery of India is the basis of that serial. Discovery of India is written by Jawaharlal Nehru. Several of his movies, Sham Benegal had kind of touched the peak of the cinema. Manthan, Weldon Abba. There are several movies actually. So at least prepare one full page notes over them or 2 pages. Read as many articles as possible in Hindu, Indian Express, and Times of India, so that you would gather as many information as possible. Good chance that there is a question comes from that actually. So that's important. Many actually a survey has come over which Indian Express and Times of India, both of them had reported. I already told you rural consumption had increased. So also the between August to July, so there was an increase in the consumption. So what happened in September that is yet to come, but there is a growth in household consumption survey as per the household consumption survey. So we already seen, already various forums had reported about it. Now the government has come out. So consumption inequality also had come down between urban-rural inequality. When compared to rural, there will be an increased consumption in urban areas. Now that even that is being reduced. So 71% was in 2023 and 84% was in 2011-12. So now it is in 2024. It is you can imagine how that consumption and patterns had changed. One of the significant factor of development. So rural people also started spending almost that there is a 70% gap only now. Earlier it used to be 84%. They used to calculate per capita expenditure. Through that, they are deriving these numbers. So this, there are two surveys over it. And then, but due to the import-export gap, The current account deficit is in Q2 is fine, that we already know, but it may double in Q3. That is the fact being coming out. So in November there was a monthly record of November. We already seen there is a big gap in the trade, so it may double. That's the issue. The second market. So again, it's on AI. So how the salary trend would be? That is a prediction. This you can go through it. Germany, you see, we already seen, and schools have lost the vote of confidence in December 16 and led to a minority government. So the election would be in February. That's a fact. Also, South Korea National Assembly votes to impeach the acting president. So even the acting president is gone now. So again, there is a uncertainty in politics in South Korea as well as in Japan also faces such situation. Major countries of the nation are having such problems. Uh, Let us see what happens. We have to wait and see. I repeated it, sorry. Another important policy matter I want to discuss is, this article of this editorial of Hindu discusses about the education policy, particularly on the detention policy. How So in 2019, the present government, National Democratic Alliance government had did away with the that means that uh, policy of no detention until 8th standard. So one has to pass on all the exams till 8th standard. So what is the status now? So again, new education policy came, the mandated final examination for the 5th and 8th class. So there is an opinion about it. Private schools should not use this as an excuse to expel poor performing students, and safeguards should be needed. A sad consequence of the policy is to brings back a single final examination and arbiter child promotion detention. So the new education policy, you can see the holistic 360-degree multidimensional progress report card detailing the progress and the uniqueness of each student. That's in the spirit of any test. But the new detention policy, which is to brought in 2019, is not reflective of NEP spirit. That is the judgment of the Hindu. Basically, you may be asked in the interview about this. It's an opinion-based thing. Whether one requires to have detention policy or not. That is the point. And this Hindu's opinion is that it's basically a discriminatory one, and it would put a lot of pressure on the children, particularly average and poor students, and would result in a lot of psychological issues. So this is an important thing, and you can have your own opinion about it, whether one should have a detention policy or not. Detention is nothing but, as I had said, ஒருத்தர் வந்து குவாலிஃபைங் மார்க் இல்லைன்னா அதே கிளாஸ் ரிட்டைன் பண்ணுறதுக்கு பேர் தான் டிடென்ஷன். ஸோ this is about the Kerala matter actually, about Kerala incident. Basically, that cap to elephant rules, basically transfer that may facilitate illegal trade in the elephants actually. But this article entirely, misuse of captive elephants in private custody. But it says that there are ambiguities in process and rationale for transport. It says that when owners are no longer able to maintain elephant, ownership of elephant may be transferred. So there is no obligation for sections to be non-commercial. So elephants can be therefore traded as movable property. Actually, ideally, it is the state of condition only. It could be traded as movable property only. But this article criticizes it. It's more of a. It may apply to other animals too. Any animal which is it is applicable for the cow. It is applicable for any dogs. Any that I added this specifically because being an aspirant, we must also have sensitivity towards these wildlife too. I will not call wildlife such animals to animal welfare too. We should have sufficient knowledge about it. We got a forest department specifically for this. Various projects under the Ministry of Environment and Forests. Various projects are running to safeguard the animals. The project Elephant is there, 2002. All captive elephants. You can see this. And again, there are a lot of legislations and rules and regulations formed across India, various states. So you must have sensitive, eyes towards this. You should not skip this essay. Go through this, and then you can make 1 or 2 points, and also you have to compare with the other acts related to that. Yeah, this is on education, on RTI primarily, and then what are the barriers on education. So the continued barriers faced by the Dalits in higher institution, higher education institution, and PG courses, and again in the foreign educations, they're all in the small numbers only. There are no significant numbers in them actually. So it says that RT filed in 2024 about IIT placements, approximately 8,000 across remained unplaced this year. In 2024, around 8,000 students in IIT have not been placed. You can imagine at least 38% there are from the marginalized communities. So just, you can see the disparity there, harassment inside, and various issues pertaining to that. So there are so again the teaching faculty, there are less, too less number there. Then it speaks about the entire reality of the situation. You can see particularly in higher education institution in IIT, these numbers are very startling. So 2,461 students had dropped out. So so 13,500 students have dropped out from the IITs and IIMs, OBCs, SCSTs. So you can imagine how the situation is of education in the higher institute of excellence, where there is an apparent, rather a conclusive evidences is coming out. It beautifully brings them out, and you can make it down, make note of it. So marginalization in the higher education institution, IITs, IIMs, national law universities. Such things keep happening. You can make note of it. Very sensitive essay it is. Yeah. So this is the status from the government. This you can make note of it. It is received from the public Now it is 912 crores only. So we can imagine 30,000 crores are presently there. It's the government PM CAS fund. ADG benefits will get. So this is from the status of the government. Indian Express has published this. Yeah, the same only. That household spending on food rises in rural areas, shrinking gap between. This is what I had already mentioned. There is the gap between urban and rural had shrunken now. So that's all from me today. Thank you very much.